Yeah, July edition of Design Club. Cool, we're recording. Awesome. Yeah, we're on. We're on. Welcome. That's all I got. Bye. See you next time.
We should. We have a video, so we should introduce ourselves.
We should. Okay, cool. You want to go first?
I'm Paul. I'm a front-end developer.
Cool. I am Sahil. I'm a designer trying to do more front-endy things.
Two great tastes that taste great together. We need each other.
We do need each other. Oh, all right. Moving on. Okay, the usual structure that we go through. I think there's a few new faces. First half is kind of bit dev style, Socratic. There'll be news and inspiration. We'll talk about it. Open Q&A type deal. Probably will repeat questions for the recording. And then the second half is a design critique. We're going to be going through a cool app today Paul put together, and we'll just walk through it, and we'll all kind of just critique it basically and actually give feedback to developers. And we've done that in the past, and it's super helpful, I think. So cool. Why are we here, Paul?
Well, Sahil, we're here because Austin Bitcoin Design Club meets to improve Bitcoin design through education, participation, and good vibes. So this club is based on the idea that Bitcoin is something that we do. Bitcoin is a verb. Bitcoin isn't just something that we got down from the mountaintops. This is a project that we're participating in. And how we want to help is by making good products and critiquing products in the ecosystem effectively and being able to give good feedback to developers that are making the stuff that we use.
Yep, very true. Who's here for the first time?
Welcome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Awesome. Was it just meetup.com, or how did you? Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, you should come to BitDevs on Thursday too. Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah, there'll probably be more core developers there. Yeah. Yeah, this has been actually kind of cool. I think it's mostly been me and Jack, but Discord group in the Bitcoin Park Discord. Yeah, tiny URL, ABDC-Discord. Join it. It's fun. If you guys share links, we'll probably use them. It's actually really useful. So fun conversation there. Feedback. Haven't received feedback since February, but that's okay.
We've been flawless since February.
Flawless.
Zero mistakes.
But if you'd like to, ABDC. Actually, this is a lie.
Yeah.
I think the domain is actually gone.
We lost the domain.
We lost the domain. So this link doesn't work.
Designer, front-end developer, no sysadmin.
No, yeah. No IT. But
I literally have no idea who owns the domain.
I'm not sure. And maybe this is why we're not getting feedback.
I'm going to have to buy it on the black market.
Okay. Well, we'll got to figure that out. But okay, just give us feedback in person, I guess. All right, cool. Let's do it. Jumping in.
Can the camera see Sahil's face, by the way?
Nice. Cool. My screen's still showing, right? On there? I think it's cool. Yeah, so we'll just jump into the news and inspiration and design stuff. It'll be fun. So the first thing I have here is Unchained next door. They do like collaborative custody, Bitcoin native financial services. They have an open source version of that basically called Caravan. And let me just jump into Buck's thing. So they added a new feature in Caravan, which is, again, their open source version, which is about this interesting UX of analyzing what they're calling like waste metrics on transaction fees. So based on some future fee expectation, if the fees are too high, there's like, let me just click in. I don't fully understand it, but it's analysis of how much you're wasting on fees based on your multi-sig transaction. And I think you get to pick what you think the fees are going to be on this slider, I think is what the deal is.
Yeah, conceptually, I love this as a way of like basically saying like, hey, this might not be a great time to make this transaction because of fees compared to historical fees. This presentation does not explain that. Like, I don't understand. Why would you choose, I want to waste more? Is that what you're doing? If you slide that slider, I want to get into the danger zone of waste.
I want more units of waste.
Yeah. And then like, if you go, you can like negative waste.
Oh yeah, negative waste.
How do you have negative waste?
If I were to, that's true. That is confusing.
So
But it does say now is a good time to spend. So if I were to
Right.
guess, it would be. But then why is the slider more to the right?
this is very confusing.
It's your Bitcoin credit score. If I were to guess, I think just based on the cursor, I think he slid it. And if you see the long-term fee estimate, it's now 133, which is higher than the 50 something before. Yeah, see 50 sats, and this is 133. So I'm guessing based on the current fees, if you slide it more, it'll be like, oh, I expect the fees to be 133 later. So now is a great time to spend because I'm going to have less negative waste.
That's probably a good analogy. Like this would be, yeah.
So the analogy was like looking up flights.
Looking up a flight. But that would mean that you could kind of project the date. I guess like now is a good time to spend. Now is a good time to spend is a pretty cool metric. Confusing thing about this is like you can choose your fee rate. You could broadcast a transaction 1 sat per VByte. It might never get mined, or it might get mined tomorrow. So you can broadcast a transaction with a low fee. I don't know. I'm so confused.
This is the most efficient possible transaction of like the top tier of like a credit score. Even if maybe it could be cheaper, maybe fees aren't as low as they were, I know given the size of my transaction and what people paid previously that I'm in like the top echelon. Versus
So kind of like compared to how wasteful people have been in the past. Yeah, so like there is this whole article that explains given a transactions topology might have on the future health of your wallet. Oh, you know, that's interesting. Your transaction is also going to, like if it has change outputs, right? That could also be future cost, right? So you're going to end up with more UTXOs maybe that you have to try to spend in the future.
I will say, looking at that screenshot, negative 50,000, whatever that was, units of waste is very confusing.
Yes. I mean, there's an info thing that we can't hover it, but yeah, this is, it sucks because it's like, you don't want to punish people for trying to solve hard problems with Bitcoin, but this is very potentially more confusing than it's helpful.
But I would imagine that like Buck is probably looking for feedback. So this kind of stuff would, be useful. Or if anyone feels differently, like, I mean, is it confusing? Does anyone get it? Or it's confusing? The key screen. Yeah. I mean,
I think something that can happen when you are so focused on a problem for so long and you've been thinking about it so much, you kind of forget what context you have loaded, that when someone new shows up to it, they might not have all that context.
I would also say like this is Caravan, so it's kind of their total, what do you call it? It's their open source, just like.
But don't they want their users to use it for like recovery?
I think what they want is basically like total edge cases. Like if Unchained goes out of business, then you can recover.
This is the escape hatch.
Yeah, this is like you're never gonna have to use this ever, I think is the idea.
So now if you never have to use it, you'll never waste fees, right?
That's true. Yeah, you'll never see this.
We
All right,
should
cool.
keep
Time to
going.
move on. All right. But yeah, this concept of wallet health, I think, is really
Better luck next time, Buck.
Okay, this one is cool. A lot to talk about here. So I feel like we've talked about Eric's stuff a lot. He works on cashew stuff, which is like custodial coin IOU, but really fast and very private type stuff. And Eric really focuses on the UX of that.
Private banking on top of Bitcoin would be a more charitable way.
That's fair. Yeah, I actually love eCash. I made it sound.
Some of my best friends are eCash.
Yeah. I'm not an eCash hater. So this is. Yeah, so Eric did a talk apparently at BTC Prague, and I really like that he posted it here. He just like all of his slides, and he just talked through. What are the problems? I downloaded a Cashew wallet. I have no idea what Mint. Has anyone used a Cashew wallet? Does anyone know what that is? Mints, all that kind of stuff. Seeing some not shaking heads. Similar, basically.
Very similar. So if you think of like I downloaded a web browser, but what like website do I go to? So like your Cashew wallet is something that can speak this protocol, but you have to pick a mint to be your bank basically, unless the app picks for you. And so there's a lot of different ideas about this because it's like it's a trade-off between giving users like total. Ultimately, the user should be aware of the risk that they're taking on because they're custodying their funds somewhere else. But at the same time, a lot of times a new user is not going to be prepared for that decision. So how do you prepare them to make that decision, or do you make it for them?
Yeah. So like here, I think Boardwalk Cash gives you like a mint discovery, keeping it in the flow.
I would think we refer to Bitcoin mints in Harbor. Harbor is a wallet that I've worked on that supports Fedimint and Cashew, and so we refer people to Bitcoin mints, as far as I know.
Yeah, it's just like reviews of different banks, basically.
A Cashew wallet are typically almost all just a mint app because you're typically like when you're paying an invoice or whatever, you're basically asking your bank to pay the invoice, right? So Mutiny had both like actual real on-chain Bitcoin and then also real Lightning and then also Fedimint. So we were trying to kind of play with this idea of the progressive enhancement between those, but of course there's a lot of complexity there that we kind of crumpled under. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for an average dev, this actually is one of the easiest ways to build a Bitcoin wallet, and there's a lot of Cashew wallets, which is really fun.
Yeah, and I think he's just talking about a lot of risks. Like, how do I know who's running the mint? And it's just like, if I put Sats in a custodial wallet, and just like it could be a random person. Yeah, and he's talking about like a mint auditor, mint swaps. I've heard about that concept of automated mint swaps, or like, like occasional bank runs, basically.
Yeah, basically that's something that the Cashew people talk a lot about. Is like, can we build bank runs into the protocol so that yes, people are custodying their funds, but they're kind of constantly testing their mints and seeing like who is fractional reserve or who's cheating. Like right now, because it's early, most people are just kind of like running a mint out of the kindness of their heart. So I don't think there have been a lot of rugs. More common has been just technical failures. Know your mint. There you go.
I just think
the other, and kind of the way Bitcoin mints is, you can work with Web of Trust. If your social graph trusts a mint and has a good history with a mint, that might be a good signal. Or if Citibank downstairs would start a Cashew mint, they could kind of leverage their trust in the market
with the brand. Yeah. I feel like this flow though. Like, do you trust this mint? I don't know. I'm not very bullish on this idea of like. I don't know. Maybe I'm being.
Do you think it's like fake data that's like not actually useful for the decision? Or?
I'm just thinking of like Bob down the street who's gonna click that. It's like I don't. Yeah. But I guess to your point, if it is like a Citi or a Fidelity, maybe that's better than.
Or like your technical buddy wants to vet the mint that he's been recommending to people.
Yeah.
And maybe he can build his trust so that when he recommends it, he has more confidence.
Yeah. Combined community reviews, mint swaps.
Yeah, and the other thing is that the legal situation is murky. Basically, it seems like that making a not-for-profit custody is not as a big of a problem, but like making a for-profit custody is like really being a money transmitter, and so there's obviously that's heavily regulated, especially in the U.S. So most people have been doing it, for fun as hobbies, and so how do we get it to the point where somebody like a Citibank, somebody wants to do this because it's a good business and they want to leverage the fact that people have a lot of trust in them. The cool thing about it is it's less trust than you place in a traditional bank because you're trusting them to hold your money and not rug pull you. But the Cashew protocol is incredibly private. So they don't know who of their customers is spending money on what. So where Citibank knows that I just bought coffee at their coffee shop downstairs, they wouldn't know if I had paid with Cashew, even if they were running the mint. So that's cool, but we're very much in this hobby. The problem with Fedimint and Cashew is like who will run the mints and how do we incentivize running the mints?
Yeah, I feel like from a UX point of view, the only or two of the most likely ways of this going forward is probably like a trusted brand of mint. So like honestly, it's not the same protocol, but like Liquid, kind of that in a sense. I mean, hand wavy, but like
something in your network. I love that idea of like being like, maybe I'm technical enough to run kind of the bank for my friends and family. That there's a real question of how many people can pull that off, and like you'd end up with probably a lot of accidental failures, right? Where I'm not stealing money from my family and friends on purpose. I just forgot. I promise, it was an accident.
Yeah. I think anyone who's like recommended in the past different mints, like whether it's Feta mint or cashew, and they recommend it to like their normie friends or whatever, and then they find out later that, oh, the mint is shutting down. And if you've been through that a few times, you're just like, at least I'll speak for myself. I just feel like I'm burnt out from this whole experience where I'm just like, I don't think I can go through that again. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to recommend a mint unless it's like Citibank or, like I said, like Liquid, where the chances of Liquid shutting down is very slim in the short to medium term. G, what's up?
Yeah, 1.5 says Fediment.
I doubt it.
I think the regulatory clarity would be nice for progress for big names adopting it. I think
By the way, Paul, the question was like, is there any
progress?
Yeah, I was just putting it for the video, but like, is there progress on the regulatory side? That's okay.
Yeah.
We can just kind of repeat it, but like,
Yeah, so I don't know of any big ones. I mean, the big thing, Fediment is kind of different legally than Cashew because it's not owned unilaterally. It's not owned by a single entity. It's owned by, and so that's potentially different. And so I could imagine companies digging into that and deciding to make some sort of consortium. That's how Liquid works, right? Liquid is a consortium, multiple entities coming together to run this blockchain. So you could do Fediment. It seems like exactly the same legality as Liquid. I don't know of any big companies working with Cashew, unfortunately, but it's such a cool idea and it's so great. I mean, the other problem is, the banking laws in the U.S. require you to spy on customers if you're holding funds. So, and I think that's awful. I think it's unconstitutional. We have to. Hopefully, we can work on that angle because this would be awesome if Citibank again.
and then I think one of your points was about like innovation and that kind of thing. I think this is really cool. Because like multi-nut payments. Everything is like nut related in this Cashew world, but like if we can get this, then I think that was what I was trying to paint a vision of, like either it's a trusted bank like Citi or Fidelity, or you just have like 20 kind of trusted banks, and then you can see here in this diagram, it's like I'm paying a 60,000 bits, whatever you want to call it, invoice, and it splits it amongst 3 different mints, and then you're just not trusting.
Right.
Each mint
right. I think from a user perspective, this makes sense. I mean, hard to understand maybe, but it's valid. I think another exciting innovation, this has nothing to do with corporate adoption, but recently this year, people started posting, people figure out how to hack an emoji to stuff a whole Cashew token inside of the emoji. So people would post emojis on Nostr and then realize that there was like a hidden inside, and so people started. It was just like really fun times. That's what's beautiful about Cashew. It's like people having fun with money, which I really think is really special and rare.
Yeah, got to play around more.
Like to share a mint. You got to explain more. I'm sorry. So they're going to. Yeah. So the idea with this is that. So someone sends you a Cashew token, and Cashew tokens are each associated with a mint. And so what you'd be doing is, as soon as you would receive that, instead of trusting the sender's mint, like let's say I'm on Citibank Mint and you're on Bank of America Mint, and I send you a Citibank eCash token, you would receive that, and then if you didn't want to trust Citibank long term, you wouldn't want to hold it as a Citibank eCash token. So you would swap it to your bank. You'd swap it to your mint. And so basically you'd be asking Citibank, hey, send this funds straight to Bank of America and I'll receive them as a Cashew token. So that's like the idea of a swap. And so I think some wallets are trying to do that automatically. I think it's pretty common because you don't know, it's how Otherwise, you're slowly going to trust all of the mints that all of your friends are using.
Yeah, like you maybe it's like you want to auto rebalance amongst the mints that you want or something. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where Cashew goes.
Yeah. 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 I feel like Lightning, people kind of capitulate. It's like, it's kind of hard and it's kind of expensive. Right. And Lightning is almost kind of an expensive hobby because you're spending dollars worth of Bitcoin maybe to like, or you're locking up, hundreds of dollars worth of Bitcoin to have a valid Lightning channel. So like experimenting with Lightning is kind of a little capital intensive, where Cashew, it always feels so like cheap and ephemeral and fun and cheap. Yeah, I said cheap twice, but yeah, it like the hobbyist group of Lightning. I'm sure they still exist, but you're right. I don't hear about it as much.
But I guess it's being replaced by like Cashew or hopefully like Spark and other things like that. That'll be fun. And then Lightning is just that kind of interconnect.
Right. And that's people just decided like let's let the experts run Lightning. Like obviously to send between, Cashew, all of Cashew is basically based on the concept of Lightning.
Seems fair. All right, moving on. This is a quick one. Umbrel. If anyone uses an Umbrel, I have an Umbrel. I haven't touched it in a while though. They just kind of redesigned their Bitcoin app, like their Bitcoin node. Does anyone use Umbrel? I mean, you don't have to dox yourself, but yeah, it's pretty simple and straightforward. I actually love it. But yeah, they cleaned up the UI. Kind of looks like that.
It's beautiful.
I think they crush it. I mean, their design team. I think Suraj runs their design team. I think. But yeah, they just have really good taste. I think. Oh, you wanted actually like functional. The globe here to the globe. Yeah, true. I love their copy. TikTok Holy Block. It's very. I guarantee that was probably Suraj. Sounds like what? Ketchum?
Kesha.
Kesh. Yeah, that's a throwback.
What do you do with this? You just look at it?
What I do with it? I just connect it to Sparrow and I just use it as my node, basically.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's not a lot you do, but yeah, sounds cool. Another quick one. Let me close out of this. Come on, Arc. Well, I guess we're just gonna have a little Umbrel running at all times. Yeah, Coinbase card. I don't know why I have 2 Skylar tweets up, but shout out Skylar twice. He did not do this, as far as I know, but just a nice card. I think that the details are just really nice. Wow, that's all I gotta say. I think it's nice to just look at stuff.
Yeah. But that's kind of cool that like we have so much mind share that they lean into the Bitcoin thing, even if they don't even believe it. They do it because it's effective. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
DK claims that the hex doesn't match.
And then Skylar's like, type and vibe is right. All that matters. Based. All about the vibes.
Skylar.
Cool. All right, moving on. Friend of Austin, Nifty. I don't have a ton to say here, but I think she worked
Speaking
on
of
this
lightning experimentation.
lightning experimentation. Lisa worked on Core Lightning in a past life.
And made this bookkeeper plugin for kind of doing accounting on your lightning node, your core lightning node.
I wonder why this seems like a product, right? This seems like something you could charge for. I wonder why it's just, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know much about it. Clams. Okay, so Clams kind of built on top of this bookkeeper concept.
Good, there's a SQL terminal. This is good. This is cool. This is what we want.
I don't even know what that is.
It's for writing a raw database.
I see. Okay, well, shout out to Core Lightning. More bike shedding, or that's kind of mean. I shouldn't say bike shedding. I mean, it's an important topic. And I've converted on this. But yeah,
How do you say this word?
I have an opinion.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, how much? What does this person have? They have $498.18. What do they have? What is this? So say it out loud.
That's what you would say?
Or do they have 4,700, 2,000 sats?
Bits.
Do they have bits?
I think they have 472,850 bits.
What about 472,000 B?
I think they have 472,850 quid.
But actually, so that is the argument, is that like we'll figure out things to say. We'll call it sats. We'll call it bits. We won't call it bitcoins. That's insane. I hope we all agree on that at least.
I hope so.
Yeah, they're not bitcoins. I mean, come on. Like, but
It's
bits,
interesting because
sats,
they use the Bitcoin symbol.
right. I've actually come around to that. I'm like, I think that's the way to go. Because this is insane to me. This is equally insane. What is it? 100 million? 100 million B. Because for most people, that's the...
Well, why not one BTC?
Okay, that's fair. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right. Yeah, so like for years, Bitcoiners have been trying to call these sats, right? And it makes sense. This is obviously bad. I think we all agree that this 0.00, because how many of us are ever going to be looking at a balance with a 1 over here, you know? And so, yeah, we're going to talk about these number of things, kind of like cents, you know, the penny of Bitcoin. So how many of the pennies do you have?
Yeah, like I think this comment here, like
tough.
lightning like a fox, I'm reasonably happy calling B10 10 sats. I think redefining one Bitcoin as one Satoshi is a harder sell.
Yes.
Completely agree. I think that's like a non-starter. Like,
But if Bitcoin got relisted as one sat, that it would really change the unit bias. Yeah. 100 million to 1 stock split.
But this is basically moving forward. I mean, not that there's any official body, but like in the Bitcoin design guide, they've added a section for this to recommend this basically, you know, the B only format. And they give recommendation like motivation with having these decimals and meaning of sats. And actually, this is a good point. I mean, I remember Skylar was telling me, Skylar used to be, he would lead design at Fedi, and he would do user interviews with, I mean, their target audience was like third world, they call it like global south or whatever. And people would just be like, I don't want sats, I want BT, I want, because like they would use things like Binance, and Binance would show 0.000 or whatever. And they're like, I want Bitcoin, I want dollars. I don't know what sats are.
That's tough. Yeah.
So it's kind of fair.
I get it. Yeah, the thing that frustrates me about this write-up is I couldn't find, maybe they have it, but they don't ever say the word. They call it the base unit. But like they don't say, it's like, I don't know how you have a symbol. Like we know what a euro is. We know what a dollar is. We know what a cent is. You have to be able to say out loud what the B is.
I think we were talking about this, but like have a section that says, how do you say it? And then you can call them sats, you can call them bits, you can call them 2 or 3 examples, just like quid, pounds, or whatever. They're the same thing. I think maybe someone should submit a PR to I mean, it's all open source. Just be like, this is how you say the stuff. And actually, this third bullet point, I had this confusion too on Twitter. And I think Steve Lee jumped in and was like, so 3.25 BTC, you'd probably say, how do I write that in this new notation? Yeah, you'd say 325 million B, or 325 point, or if there was more, it'd be like 325.78 million. How is that different than dollars though? You'd say like $15.7 million, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we're just used to that by now.
Because we know what word to say when we look at it.
Dollar, yeah. Bucks, we call them bucks. Exactly. Bucks. Exactly.
Cheddar's pretty good.
Exactly. 100%. Yes. Confusion for the accountants and database. Yeah.
That developer pain I felt a lot of times because Lightning officially is based on a unit of millisats. So it's 1,000 times a sat. And so you'll get a number and you just always need to check, is this a millisat or is this a sat? And so you have so many off by 1,000x errors.
Well, we'll see where this goes.
We'll keep you posted.
I'm sure this is not the last of this topic.
This is already the second time we've talked about this.
It's not going to be the last. Okay, I think we have like 10-ish minutes, a little less than 10. I think we got time. This one is an interesting topic. So, I mean, the Bitcoin-y stuff is kind of, now we're into like tooling and design stuff. I want to make sure my notes are here. Yay. So this guy is really angry. He's really angry about Figma. He's like, Figma's not a design tool. It's a Rube Goldberg machine for avoiding code. And I just highlighted a few things. He's talking about how designers craft elaborate prototypes in Figma to mimic basic digital interactions are essentially building digital Rube Goldberg machines. If you're going to spend hours creating intricate simulations in Figma, you might as well put that effort directly in code. Because in the end, code is where your designs must ultimately function. And
on that point, I mean, I think that's something that it kind of annoys me, like that you are encoding behaviors and flows in Figma, but they just have to be recreated in code. Like, I don't understand why that truth, even if it's low fidelity, why can't that truth trickle down into the code base somehow?
Yeah,
And
I
blame
think
I blame Figma. I'm not blaming designers for that. I'm blaming Figma.
I think that's a really good point. Is that where this guy is kind of, I think, strawmanning, or maybe he fundamentally misunderstands why Figma is a useful tool, or like what designers do in the first place. I think to me,
what do designers do?
it's existential question. But I think the main benefit of having something like Figma, and hopefully something better in the future that's closer to code, is that you can, on this infinite canvas, play with the different things at a very low friction and iterate with low friction. Whereas if you're jumping into, even today, like I was talking to the people here before we started, it was like, I've been using V0 and all these other tools, but like there's still so much friction to iterate quickly because there's no infinite canvas. You can't like make quick variants and iterations and that kind of thing. Now that's changing, it's getting better, but that is to me the point of Figma, is like quickly prototyping something.
So like if I look at Figma as something to create a wireframe for a design, why would I go back to Figma instead of just vibe coding it? Is it that
That's a
infinite
really good
canvas, or like that's where I see his point here of like you're just making something for then somebody to do. You can already move 50 yards down the field in a V.
Doing this for I think months now, or just like getting really excited and telling everyone I've left Figma, I'm never using it again, to now I'm kind of like coming back to, okay, there's a strong place for this. And I'm sure my opinion will change next month, but right now where I'm at is like something like canvas layout, whether it's Figma's probably not it, but like Magic Path or Magic Pattern or Reweb or a bunch of these other Figma like canvas AI tools to start. So that's like, I'm going to try 15 different solutions of how I could potentially solve this problem. And then you want to converge to actually building it. But to your point, the problem with a lot of these tools, like the vibe coding tools, is they don't pull in your actual component library. They don't pull in your actual styling. And it's just so frustrating to do that in an actual production environment. Like for example, at Foundry, I just can't really do that because we have a design system. We have like type scales and color ramps and all this stuff. And when I use V0, I'm stuck with kind of just building something that's 70% of the way there, which is great for a prototype, but it's not great for like, yes, exactly, bingo. Then it's over.
Yeah, I'll repeat that for the mic because I totally agree. Once somebody makes a tool where you can load it with your component library, your color system, your type system, things like that, that will dominate the market. I totally agree, because that's you want ground truth. And even the vibe coding tools are kind of coming around to this, like, you know, Claude has like or Cursor has Cursor rules. Claude has a Claude MD file. You know, you're creating guidelines for what this project is, and the more precise those are, the more of a happy path the vibe coding will be on anyways, because like all these decisions are already made. It just looks them up. And so I'm very excited for that world. And that way also the designer can tweak one tiny little component that should just auto update everything. That should be the source of truth.
Well, because
And I mean, they're starting to do that with like Figma Make and stuff, but it's just it's still not there. It's super wonky. But you're right. The vision is that. It's like amazing.
Well, and the other thing too that I guess is on the side of a tool like Figma is, we've talked about this before, of like when you're vibe coding and using these tools, it just kind of spits out a different flavor of the same thing. So then you fall into this trap of it looking super AI generated, which in some cases is good because users are used to that. But then if you're doing something unique or you're trying to do something different, it's really hard to get the tool to like listen to you in that
which is kind of the whole purpose of your design system in the first place, is to like set these rules of like, this is the type scale we use, this blah blah blah. And yeah, it's just, you can't do that right now. But I think this guy's just really angry or something, because like even here he's like, designers have retreated into a fortress of abstraction. They'll tweak their Figma files endlessly, push back on it. It's like, no, you're probably not working with good designers. That's not how designers work. Maybe I'm getting defensive, I don't know. Oh yeah, what's up? Yeah, I've tried it a lot. There's some that take screenshots, that like Figma takes the actual node itself, and they're just like really bad. They're really, really bad. They're fine to get like a 70% of the way there to test something.
Can you show that flow that somebody had where they
this one?
this?
So this tool, I've even tried this one, builder.io. It doesn't work the way he's shown. Like I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but this vision is I think
This is a cool vision.
Yeah. So he's going here.
Like, I would even accept this. Like, let's say the designer like tweaked like crazy their component, and they just created a GitHub issue but like somehow like the source of truth was the Figma component.
I'll just walk through this. So right now he's in Figma. He's on a Figma plugin that's exporting this component, this date picker component. He says export, and it's opening now a new tool called Builder.io. It's pulling in that Figma component, and now he's saying update the actual, like the working code. He just prompted it, updated with this new picker. It's updated with the Figma picker.
Now
and then
he's
he's submitting
like,
the PR.
why can't the Figma component be the source of truth? That's what I think. That's why I think ultimately all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like designers are going to have to upskill. You should either be like a visionary in a field, coming up with really innovative aesthetic, or you should be making the source of truth for the components that you want to exist in the world.
I mean, it's honestly possible that designers just kind of merge with either like merge with front engineers or merge with PMs on some extent, and it's just like there's two types of designers, and that's probably it. Yeah,
I think that the designer's design system should be an API call to something like Figma that has the color system, has the spacing, but even the component definition. I think that's the thing is like Figma, you can create variables, right? So you basically the props for a React component, right? And so you could always like put a little box like do your cool code thing here if it needs true, but if it's something that you can define, a calendar, like a calendar needs actual API data for like all these days. You're not going to define all those in Figma, but you can, I don't know. I feel like,
I think going forward, the source of truth is always going to be code. Like I was listening to this podcast with the new head of design at Cursor, and he was talking about this really fascinating feature where Cursor just becomes the default like tool that designers and developers use. And depending on do you think more spatially or do you think more in like code and files? It adapts to what you need. Either way, that is the.
You're both on either side of the source of truth that's in the middle. But you could both have mutable access.
Which I think is maybe where we go. So what's up, Sam? Like a style sheet versus the component itself, you mean? Yeah, I think that's the argument is like designers in the past, including myself, were very possessive about like Figma is the source of truth. But okay.
This is a good example.
Love John Carvalho, but it was kind of hilarious to me. Not hilarious. I mean, I used to feel this way too. So John Carvalho runs Synonym. Here's what it looks like to maintain a well-documented Bitcoin wallet app prototype in Figma. And to me, this in the past would be like, wow, this is an amazing Figma file, like so organized. But now I kind of look at it like, why is this not just the just build a freaking product?
Build a product.
These are images. And then, sorry, John, I muted you. The follow-up is like, he's saying this with pride, like should have included this, like this is the Figma prototype linked up thing. To me, this is insane.
Yeah, this is really insane. I mean, I will say the upside of this is that as a front-end developer, a lot of times I'm working on implementing something and I don't know exactly what to do. And so when I have a Figma like this, I can look and I know exactly what to do. So I'm like constantly unblocked. I don't have to innovate myself. I don't have to be a pretend designer for a second there. I just know. But at the same time, the problem with this is that I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. So like I'll just try to focus on one thing, like, well, which is the priority, which of these are truly are maybe a little outdated. I don't know.
And by the way, this is in stark contrast to like, if you look at the way Linear builds, Linear is like, it's kind of like Jira, but it's a nicer Jira. They build very differently. They don't even have these like master Figma files. Their source of truth is code, and they have quarterly files. So like they'll have Q2 2025, and they will build literally just by taking screenshots of the current app and then just like build components on top of it. And I used to do that, and I would think like, oh, I'm just like not doing my job, and I'm like hacking away. But it's like, no,
that's fun.
The point is shipping. The point is like shipping code, not like keeping a repository of a really nice Figma file.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. The point is to communicate. However you can communicate to the person that's actually building it.
Which that's what's so fun about this whole AI wave is that we're all just we're like rapidly iterating through a million different ways of how do we communicate about what we want and like how do we get the product that we want. Like, it's a pretty wild time.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a flow state right now.
This is Sahil's brain right now.
This is my brain. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it. Well, so we have a design crit now.
All right, here we go.
Oh, I didn't share the link, but I'll just say it out loud. If anyone wants to join the Figma, it's tinyurl.com/ABDC-white noise.
Yes.
Oh, you have it. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, if you have the Figma app or your laptop or whatever, you can join this and you can leave comments as we go. I made a copy of the most recent white noise Figma. I actually thought this was kind of interesting meta thing. And I find this is pretty common on like Bitcoin open source projects. If it's super open source, they'll just post links to their Figma in GitHub issues. So like, this is I think the main designer, Vladimir, he made this issue, designs needed, and then designs added. And so he just links to the part of the Figma. So anyways, I was able to just grab this Figma and yeah, so this is white noise. Who's heard of white noise? Nice. Okay. Okay, it's a movie too. All right. Well, we'll have to go watch that afterwards. So white noise is an encrypted messaging app, basically like Signal. And we can look at the crit guidelines, like we're trying to be good critiquers, you know, so we want to think about why this exists, who is it for, and the information architecture is usually what we focus on the most. And then sometimes a little bit on the visual design, a little bit of the how.
And I think you mentioned this, Paul, but you can add comments yourself, or if you just say it out loud, I'll add the comments and we'll share it with the devs.
So, and I also have, if we want to play around with it, I've got it on my phone. So Sahil and I have a really good conversation going. I don't know, where did that go? LOL. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a little laggy. So I'm personally, this is the creator. I haven't actually said anything. Hi from Austin, Bitcoin Design Club. I'm sure he's getting a lot of spam. If you make a messaging app that you can easily add people. So let's, I don't even know really where to start.
I think the onboarding was really nice. I don't know.
Okay, so let's do this. So this is actually funny. They got rejected from Apple because like there wasn't like login in the sense that Apple was hoping for. Because this is Nostr based, so you are going to generate or bring a Nostr private key. It's on test. Oh, that's a good question. It's on test flight. If you go to whitenoise.chat, you can find a test flight link. It's also for Android, and so you can get on the test flight and start playing with it. We could get a little group going. So you set up a profile, it's pretty straightforward. You start chatting. I thought one of the interesting things about this is the idea of adding people. Adding people is one of the most frustrating things with Signal, because if you are in person, you can scan their QR code. Otherwise, you have to ask them for their like username or know their phone number. So let's see, onboarding, so let's log in.
And that's frustrating because like they might not know what they're
like. I can't, if I wanted somebody to message you, if I wanted Austin to message you and you weren't friends on Signal, I don't have a way to tell him what your username is unless I've memorized it.
Oh, you can't go and check?
No, that info is not in the profile on Signal. So like here, so there's your impub. Oh, I guess I'll add you as a contact. Nice. How do I add for you? Well, so yeah, so that's it. You can search for not future Paul. That's a good question. Like, so I could share it with you. You could scan that, but yes, this is the exact problem. Like, so I could copy that public key. This is good. So like, if you want to come up, and I'll scan your QR code. So this is like the in-person flow.
I can't even. You're a contact, and I can't even search not future Paul.
Did you add me as a contact?
Oh no, you added me. Okay. That's
So, unfailing salmon, my good friend. So I'm gonna. Oh, so you have a different name there. Okay, now it updated. Hello. Did you use your real Nostr profile? Okay, so you just
Yeah, it
created.
didn't ask me
So you
either.
created a new one.
That's
What?
some feedback too. Is like I wish you could use your existing.
It's weird that
Primal
I
account.
just scanned him and maybe kind of along their lines of adding contact. I just scanned him to start a chat, but that didn't add him as a contact. So that I had to go in and add him as a contact. Seems interesting. Okay, so now let's see if we can make a 3-person group chat. This is new group chat. All 2 of my contacts. Does anybody else want to get in on this? We got any other white noise? Rosalind, I scan your. Do you have white noise? Yeah. Okay, come on. This is so exciting. I feel like people are coming down to win a prize, but really they're just.
It's just pain.
Wait. I lost the button for adding. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is confusing. To scan, I have to go to share my profile, and that's where I get the scan button. Can you add a comment about that? I have to go to share profile to find the scan function.
Yes. Yeah, that one is very good.
Great stuff. All right, we got ET. Hey, ET. Auto add as a contact. Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, you got a.
Yeah. I'm just taking a note of this. While we're waiting, I'll say like I like the visual design and branding. I can't really see it on Paul's screen, but I like the kind of punk aesthetic. I don't know if you can see. It's like 3D punk. There's like a guy with a smoke thingy.
We got a real. This is a real live. Okay, so this is interesting. A real live Nostr profile. We actually got your name. We did get your photo, and that's probably just a bug. I'm sure they're working on that.
Oh, that's your existing.
So you have Andrew at Bitcoin Park. So you see, there's your NIPO5 name.
You pop
And like that's what Austin was talking about. Ideally, we'd be able to at least search people by that.
But you put in your end private. Okay. Oh, your NSEC. Wow. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna do one more onboarding, and then we'll do some more critiquing. We have the best group chat of all time.
White noise
summer.
The advice was white noise summer, like
Let's
white boy
put that in
summer.
the food group. White noise summer. All right, we got Awake Snake, Roz. All right, so now I have to go into each of these individual chats that I've just started and add them as contacts.
If I can say one thing, Paul,
Oh, nice. So instead of doing the sign up, you can. No, I don't think so. Here. So these are my keys, and so I can show everybody my NSEC. There you go.
Paul, this is recorded.
And let's see. Yeah, so you can just click sign out here. I'm not going to do it, but you could sign out and sign in with a different. There's yeah, they just added this. This is nice. Yeah, they've got relays, so they show. So this is decentralized. So all this data that we're doing is published onto these, but it's encrypted in like a really cool way. All right, let's make the group chat. Let's see, I hope I got everybody. You're gonna. Oh, okay. This one. So Andrew, ET, Ross, Sahil. Yeah, I think you could. Yeah, you'd probably add like a relay. Like this is going to relay just me and my friends are going to know about. And yeah, absolutely. You don't have any idea. Yeah, you don't know anything about. Right, and we're also. I've been trying to learn this and understand it, and there's a lot of concepts going on because there's there's NIP 44 encryption. And then there's also gift wraps. And so basically what has happened, the thing that you can find publicly is that my NPub, my Nostr public key, has published what's called a key package. And so it's like, hey, if you want to add me to a group, here's a key you could use. It's different than my NPub, but it's associated. That key package is associated. And so when somebody grabs that key package and creates a group, that's going to create brand new private keys. This is the new official group chat for ABD. Super secret club. And so everything that I do with this publishing this group is completely unassociated with any of us from the perspective of the relays. These are like brand new keys doing random stuff. Oh, this is a little bug. This says Sahil at the top.
It says me.
So the way the signing happens is, the way Signal works is that every single message you encrypt gets individually encrypted to everybody in the group. The way this works is that it gets encrypted to the group, basically. And so everybody in the group knows how to decrypt messages that are encrypted to the group. That's kind of the way I'm understanding it. The key package is just showing, like, here's a public key that you could publish things to. And when you join, any of us could, like, kind of update after joining this, could, like, publish a new key package. Actually, I'd like you to start publishing to this instead. Yeah, and so there's these ideas of, like, epochs, and it's like there's some crazy. So I've been playing around with this. I've been, like, vibe coding some Zig, and I was trying to, let's see. All right. So I got to this. So I can create Alice's identity. I can create Bob. Ooh, okay. So I don't know how good this visualizer is because I just had it vibe code based on an MLS library that I wrote myself. So Alice publishes a key package. Bob publishes a key package. So now that Alice can see Bob's key package, she can create a group. And so the group gets an ID. And we're at the welcome stage. Oh, there's this message flow. So now we like send these welcomes. And so Alice sends a welcome. Bob doesn't have to obviously join the group if he doesn't want to. So ideally, Bob would be able to join this, but I don't know if we vibe coded. Did we build it so Bob can join? So anyways, once Bob sees this welcome message, he joins the group, then they can start messaging. And then it has this, yeah. The idea with encryption like this is that it's like forward secrecy. So if you leaked your Nostr private key, somebody would not be able to read all your messages. They wouldn't be able to read your messages in the past, and they also wouldn't be able to read new messages that were sent to this group because they wouldn't know the secrets that were generated specifically by this group. Yes, all of this is just under the hood how it's working. Yeah, from our perspective, other than the fact that it looks like Sahil is our mascot, we just kind of had a Signal style
by the way,
group experience.
I do not even have that chat. Ooh, never mind. I have an accept. That was a little confusing. It wasn't clear to me. Let me find this in the Figma, or I'll just say it on video. Yeah, the screen that showed up, The screen that showed up was not really. Oh yeah, I'm seeing not feature Paul too. So I just
You're
accepted
verified elf.
Yeah.
What? Verified. Good job. All right. So what else should we look at on here? We want to look at the Figma. Any comments?
Donate? How about donate?
Donate to White Noise.
No. I think. Oh, I thought it was donate to people. Okay, never mind.
Ooh, some texture.
They have it for some of the like.
Yeah,
the
some
empty
of these.
states.
Is this white noisy enough? Perlin noise. I think I literally have like a texture called noise and texture.
Yeah, noise and texture is a great plugin.
Here's Perla.
Yeah, some texture on the buttons would be nice, actually. Yeah, that's good feedback.
Yeah, so the way I understand it, it is kind of a UX issue, actually. It's kind of going to be similar to Signal. If you had Signal on your phone and you added it to your laptop gets the new messages, but it doesn't get the old messages. So let's say you're doing all this chat on white noise now. Primal adds support for this spec, which is like Nostr MLS or NIP-EE or whatever you want to call it. So you'd add your Primal device, basically, and it would be another member of the chat, and then it would be kind of up to the chat apps for how to display it. They'd probably collapse it to look like one. But those two instances would have, just like when you add somebody to a chat, they don't see the history before, right? So that new device that you added wouldn't see the history before, unless you used some other technique to like out of band put the message history. Right. No, it's as simpler because MLS was kind of designed more around this use case than Signal was. It's more like just adding another person to your group chat. No. So imagine your Primal version of you and your white noise version of you. They're like two different people in the chat. They just have the same npub, right? But it's like from the MLS encryption side, it's like you've just added a completely new person to the chat. But from the identity side, that new person happens to have the same inpub. Does that make sense? So you don't have to sync data across your devices for both of those people. Just like I don't have to sync data to Sahil out of band for him to see messages in our group chat. You're basically encrypting, as far as I understand, to the latest group ID. So yeah, I think it would be. Yeah, I do think there are probably, and I wish I could understand this a little bit better to explore it, but I do think there'll be feels like there'll probably be desync issues. I mean, we're already seeing that in the sense of like,
Yeah, it's pretty.
So Sahil, I should know his name, but it says verified elf, so like that data consistency. And also, we have multiple relays.
So I wonder if we should bring it back to like design here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
that's okay.
showing some stuff over here.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, let's look at design a bit.
You mean
Like
what is that?
On network relays.
Mm-hmm.
It's message layer
Major League
security, like
Soccer.
it's supposed to be like TLS, but for messages. So it's like an internet standard. And then Nostr is adopting it, and Nostr is kind of the identity layer and doing some of the encryption, but using the MLS standard for how these chats proceed.
Any thoughts on the visual design, the branding? I think we talked a little bit about the glitch kind of vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I personally feel, I get why they would do it like this, but this is very simple. And I'm wondering, what it would take to upscale to make this feel a little bit more premium.
Oh, I see. So you're not even like features wise. You mean like just visual branding wise?
Yeah.
I'm getting Uber vibes. No, I agree. I think it feels really clean and premium. Yeah.
This is sharp, minimal, exactly what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, that's the vibe I get.
Valet parking.
Yeah, just like high end.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That's
I just wish it wasn't so sharp. I wish there was just a little like
right.
2 pixels corner radius, just like something like that. And the spacing is a little off. Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. The spacing of the endpoint.
Yeah. You guys like these spacings? I don't.
Yeah. Do I need to know the endpoint? I'm not really gonna.
like this.
It looks nice, like a Bitcoin address, but
Maybe. What if
Like an
it's just like
address.
inpub 1ZUU ellipses 2C?
like we've solved this problem with Bitcoin addresses. Exactly.
Yeah. Do it more like a Bitcoin ad. I think showing somebody information that's not very actionable. So like the action is to cross-reference that you're talking to the right inpub. But if you're typing this, you might as well be dead.
Exactly.
Okay.
For sure.
That's a good point.
Yeah. The comment was just
So-
like they're just kind of getting out. Yes. Yeah. It's a
And
really
I
good
think
starting.
that's
I'm
a
just
good
repeating real quick.
good callback to like this. What's the purpose right now? Like this is early. This is starting, and so this design matches the fact that it's early. It's not trying to do too much and not trying to overcomplicate things at this stage. What are you saying?
Oh no, I was just repeating the comment for the just all chat
What are you talking about? You're talking about this? You think that's vibe coded? Oh, we can send welcome to Bob now. Let's see. Okay. Bob's going to join the group. No way. Do you think we could message? That'd be wild. Oh, Bob didn't see the message. I guess they're both sending message. That's right. Yeah. Any more comments?
It's clean.
Yeah. You have to go to.
Yeah, I wanted to basically, my goal was to scan, and I think the action was something like, it was something like that, and it was confusing because I wanted to scan, remember? Like I wanted to scan your QR, but the call to action was like share or something?
Yeah. You have to go to like share your profile to find the scan button.
Yeah, it was a little confusing.
We're like having technical difficulties with Riverside.
Maybe because we weren't open for a while.
Yeah, I've got background in it. Share background view, no matter how much I vibe code. So yeah, where was that? Where's the add people or the profile section?
A little hard to find things in these big Figmas. Search contacts? Is that what you want?
I look for scan. Oh, scan users QR code to connect.
That's okay. I think we're on video anyway.
Sorry, this is really exciting. I'm just like trying to find this in the. Whatever. I give up.
Video. We're on video. Cool.
Just don't ask me to find anything in the Figma. Yeah, this is a lot of screens.
Yeah, exactly.
I think maybe it does default whatever your device is. Like my device is defaults to like time of
Time
day.
of day.
So it's light mode right now. I don't know if they theme. I could switch it to dark. Let's look
Oh,
at this
look at my
great
emojis.
chat. Great work, everybody.
Those are my emojis.
This is my first like multi-person group chat. Why not? This is pretty exciting for me. I think could be. I mean, yeah, this is early. The cool thing is there's already a bunch of other apps that support the same protocol, which is very much the Nostr way, right? So it's not going to be all on White Noise's shoulders to perfectly nail this. There'll be a lot of experimentation, but I do think this is the potentially future of encrypted messaging. It's a lot like Signal.
Can hear Jack if you want to add me in again, just so we wrap up. I think I'm still backstage. Not in real life. Maybe we don't need this then. Still no?
The third part of the talk where we have technical difficulties and try to find things, Figma. And, here we go.
But yeah, I think that's kind of it. Just a reminder about the Discord group. If you want to join, tiny URL, ABDC dash.
If anybody knows where our domain name, who has our domain name.
Yeah, that's the other one. But fortunately,
so
we have
embarrassing.
this one, tiny URL, ABDC dash Discord. We can't do feedback. And yeah, thanks for coming out again.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you, video people.
Yeah, thanks for whoever's watching. ATL BidLab.